And I use the term loosely, of course. I'm gonna take apart something I don't think I've ever taken apart before, which I've taken apart a lot of shit, so that would be surprising. But what we got here is a 76 Harley speedometer, and it don't work. The needle don't move at all. These things are made out of plastic. They're sealed up pretty tightly. They do have a couple screws on the back, but that don't do anything as far as taking it apart is concerned. At least I don't think it does. Let's see. I don't know whether these are, economically repairable. Just, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't know. Well, as I kind of expected, taking the screws out really didn't do anything. I don't know how for sure to get into this thing. The lenses are replaceable. You can buy them online, I believe. At least I think you used to be able to. This one's got, for as old as it is, the lens is unusually clear, which leads me to believe that somebody's replaced the lens once. And it looks like there's silicone on here, maybe? Let's see what happens if it comes off. Yeah, this lens has been off of here before, and it's not sitting flush or level in there. Oh, okay. Well, that was surprising. Oh yeah, gobbed up with silicone. And you know what? It's not plastic. The housing is, in fact, metal. Huh. And if it didn't have silicone all over it, it looks like it might come out. Of course, the knob won't come off. Ah, you fuck. I prefer not to destroy things when I take them apart, but it really doesn't matter whether I destroy this or not. It doesn't have a home right now. Well, it's plastic and metal. What the fuck? What is this shit? Well, it's plastic. There is a metal can in there, it looks like. Cocksucker. This layer of silicone isn't helping. I think I'm going to get my Dremel tool and peel away the slip over here, and I might be able to get the, I don't know, the whole thing looks like it's in a can. It might pop out the front. Alright, I probably should have watched the YouTube video on taking these apart before I decided to take it apart, but hey, let's venture into the unknown. I'm going to try to peel a little bit of, there's a little bit of a lip here. A little bit of a lip here I'm going to try to sand away. see if we're getting any closer or not. Maybe a little closer. I pulled on this pretty hard. This does not seem to come off. Motherfucker. Jesus. Yeah, let's see if we're any closer. It's a little closer. This knob's got to come off somehow. These are handy. Some people call them dope scissors. I don't know why. It's not cooperating. I was thinking if I could pull the rubber boot back and hold the knob, maybe it unscrews. That ain't working. Let's take some more of this plastic out of the way. This shit stinks, let me tell you. Probably carcinogenic. I'm getting to be an old man. I figure by the time it kills me, it can't probably dead anyway. You know, why am I wasting my time? I could probably buy a repo one of these for, you know, 80 bucks. I got no use for this. I don't intend to use it. It's broken. How could you use it? I would like to see what the fuck is inside this thing. I've got an idea what's in there. The face has got a couple screws in it, so the face comes off. If the face is going to come off, the needle's got to come off. I've taken apart some dial calipers and some pocket watches in my life, and usually the needles just pop right off. Let's see if this will pop right off. It did. Yeah, and actually the first one of these I took off of a dial indicator. It did the same thing. I launched it into the ceiling. Let's see if there's anything helpful under the face. Those are tight. Those don't want to come off. Son of a bitch. That one comes off. This one is starting to strip out. You get a little better fitting screwdriver. Fuck. Damn. How could something so little be so tight? Not the usual combination, a jeweler's screwdriver and a vice grip, huh? Let's get this over here. Success. Well, there we go, the guts. To get the guts out is the problem. Still don't see what the fuck is holding it now, man. Okay, trying to lever the knob off. Ah, you suck. It does not want to go. Ooh, something moved. Shit. The knob came off. I don't see if that gives us enough room to get it out. I don't think it will, but let's try. Alright, a little heat coming at you. I know I said a little, but my little micro torch, I don't know, that some bitch is out of gas, never works right. And, you know, the old mechanic adage of some is good, more is better. So's the propensity for increasing the destruction with a little of this. Try not to melt the plastic. This is the part where I get to burn myself a lot now. You know, some kind of shit's melting out of that hole. Oh, the fucking plastic's melting. Huh. Let's see if that made any difference. Smell a new stink. That's probably as bad. Okay, right now, I think I'm going to end up destroying this thing, which, you know what, I really don't care. I was hoping that by some miracle I could fix this thing and make it usable again. I'm going to destroy this knob. If, on the outside chance, I do get it fixed, I could always machine a new one of these. It's made out of aluminum. It's pretty soft. I don't know what's on that shaft. Hell, I could always super glue one on. Let's see if the heat loosened anything up, and maybe it'll pry off now. Tain't moving. Jesus. We're going to cut this thing off as close to the case as I can. That should give me enough room to wheel this thing out of there. I'm getting a little close to the case, which I want to try not to destroy. Oh, that's kind of becoming a moot point. Okay, that's good. Let's see if it comes out now. Suck and set. All right, here we go. Okay, I don't know if y'all know how speedometers and tachometers generally work, or work generally speaking. This here is a magnet, and when you have it spinning, the magnet drags this doohickey along. And this is a drag cup, so the faster it spins, the more it moves. The needle, of course, is connected to it. So when this was on the motorcycle and the cable was driving it, the drag cup was not moving. And it moves now. I could only assume that the grease was just stiff. Huh. Probably the only thing wrong with this bastard. You know, this is off a motorcycle that was been sitting around for the last 20 years. I guess there's no real surprise that it didn't work. Let's try something. I have an idea. Always do. Alright, let's see if this thing works. I got a piece of old speedometer cable shoved in the hole, in the drive hole, and I'm running my drill in reverse. And obviously the needle's not moving. There we go, look, that broke loose. Getting caught on my vise a little bit. Let me move that. Let's squirt some shit up inside there. I'm going to try to hit the, I'm going to try to target the bearing area of the drag cup. And the needle. Let's see if it's any freer. Alright, so the only problem with this thing is the grease or oil or lube on this shaft in the drag cup is gotten thick and congealed after, you know, sitting in there for 20 something plus years without moving. Easily fixable if you could get it apart. The trouble is getting them apart without destroying them. I think for obvious reasons they don't want people tampering with them, so you can't turn the mileage back easily. Unfortunately, that makes them very difficult to fix. But anyway, all that was wrong with this thing. Probably needed a couple of drops of instrument lube down in the on the shaft for the drag cup and the needle. Interesting. You know, who knows if the calibration was right or not, though. Of course, when I had it on the bike and it wasn't working, if you'll notice, I got to get a certain amount of RPM before it kind of breaks free. Obviously, the problem was I wasn't going fast enough. Anyway, there you have it. What I want to do is I want to figure out what holds this fucking thing on, this fucking knob where it used to be. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to split it down the middle with the cutoff wheel. So I can see what the hell holds it on. Yeah, I think I see the beginning of some threads in there. I've still got ideas that this might be usable, so I don't want to totally destroy the fucking thing. I got fucking, I was spreading epoxy with the screwdriver last week. I got it covered with epoxy. Fucking old man. Let's see, I'm just trying to chew away some of the aluminum without getting into the shaft underneath it. If I cut my thumb open and bleed to death, I guess that's to be expected. Fuck me. Let's see, there's gotta be a way here. I got a old broken off chisel I like to keep kind of sharpened for things such as this. Just trying to just go in there and split that collar the rest of the way. Cracked all the way across, I could see that. It's my small beating hammer. Alright, let's wrap this up. What I discovered was this. After a little more cajoling with the small hammer and the chisel, what I discovered was that this little knob on here is left-handed thread. So if you're going to work on one of these things, this is what you got to do. Probably in this order. Pop the needle off. You saw how that came out of there. Take the screws out, take the face off. Well, and of course when you're doing that, it's still going to be in the housing. Once you got it that far, pry the plastic part of the knob off. That'll leave this bare aluminum part of the knob exposed. Get maybe a soldering iron, a big soldering iron, or a small pencil torch so you're not, melting plastic and shit like that. And if you get this thing hot enough, I think you'll melt the Loctite that's inside there, and you might be able to unscrew this part of the knob. If it's stiff on there, if you hold this spring down into the D10, it should keep that shaft from moving. Once you got the knob out of there, take these two screws out of the bottom. The guts will come out of the middle of this thing. Once the guts come out of the middle of this thing, you'll have access to the drag cup and the magnetic wheel in there. And you get some penetrating oil, some carb cleaners, some instrument oil, whatever you got to do on these bearings, and you should be able to get this thing freed up, and it should work just fine. Yeah, I'm looking at this. I think I got carb cleaner on the dial, so that might fuck up the plastic. I don't know whether I fucked that up or it was fucked up. It's definitely softened the plastic. But anyway, maybe carb cleaner is not a good idea. Don't use carb cleaner on it. The other thing I found out was that these lenses are still available. I've seen an awful lot of these where the lens is so yellow and cracked you can't see through the thing. I wished that this hadn't been messed with, but it looked like the previous owner there had replaced the lens on it already once. I don't know how you get the lens out without destroying it. Well, I guess you really don't care if you destroy it or not, but you don't want to destroy the housing. I think that if a guy had to, you could probably get one of these saws from a hobby shop and cut around the lens, get it out of the way, and then glue a new one on there. Super glue, model airplane cement, the good shit that we used to use when we were kids, not that shit they sell these days to these jackass glue sniffers. Might glue that back on there. But anyway, piece of cake. They're fixable, sort of. Are they worth it? Probably not. Repos of these are still available. I think they're like $90, so who knows. But maybe you got a bike and you want to preserve the original mileage reading. In that case, it might be worth going into it just to make sure if you're keeping it all original, whatever, you're trying to restore it with how many original miles are on it, might be a way to go. Anyway, now y'all know how to fix one of these bastards. I guess I am out of here. If anybody wants these bits and pieces, I've got the speedometer taken apart. I also got a tack taken apart to the same degree. Let me show you the tack real quick. For purposes of demonstration, a tack is a lot simpler. You don't have all the mileage trip meter and mileage meter to be concerned with. But there it is. All it is a drag cup, moves the needle. There's a magnet in here that rotates. As the magnet spins, it moves the drag cup and it moves the needle. There's nothing to it. Piece of cake. I suppose if I really wanted to get to the bearings, I could take all these screws out, take the bearing mounts out of this thing and get in there, but there's just no need for me to get into that at this point. Anyway, you want it, get a hold of me, and I'll be glad just to send it to you. I got no use for this shit anymore. It's just going to sit around the shop here until I get tired of looking at it and I'll throw it away. I am out of here. Hey, thanks for watching. Please subscribe.